You gotta change your mental by striving to learn info. So open your third eye and recharge your crystals. You gotta change your mental. 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 You gotta change your mental by striving to learn info. So open your third eye and recharge your crystals. You gotta change your mental. You gotta change your mental. You gotta change your mental. You gotta change your mental.
So peace to the gods and the goddesses. I just wanted to do a quick video because I was sitting here and I was actually getting ready to go clean or get up or do something, right? And I seen where DMX was actually in a hospital due to an overdose, which caused a heart attack. And they said he's in a bad situation, like there's really no life left in him. And that kind of struck a nerve with me. Like it kind of made me feel a certain way, because we're all going through some type of pain. We're all going through some type of an addiction. And my addiction might not be drugs, but it could be something else. So for one, we shouldn't judge what somebody else is going through. But for two, we're all going through some type of pain. And what leads to drugs sometimes is trying to self-medicate, to suppress the pain. And it hurts because I'm a fan of DMX, and that's the first man that I seen on TV or in person that was vulnerable to cry and like speaking about God but still being who he was, you know what I mean? And when I was locked up in a group home, like I used to listen to DMX a lot, and it was just something that I related to his music. Don't ask me why. When I was in a group home, I was probably like 13 years old, but I remember when we were allowed to have our headphones on, like I would listen to him. And I always admired DMX because he was always real. Like he always talked about the personalities he had. He always talked about mental health. So it makes me sad because it feels like the devil got the best of him. You see what I'm saying? And I'm teary-eyed even talking like that, because for me, every day is a struggle. Every day is a struggle for me to not let the devil come in and take over. Every day is a struggle for me not to feed into negative thoughts, anxiety. So when you see a person that you kind of look up to, it's like, damn, because sometimes we just get faced with certain demons that can overwhelm us. And now this man is laying in a hospital, caused himself a heart attack, and they said he probably won't come out of it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not big on doing videos. I'm not big on having this camera on my face. But when I do it, that's one thing you're going to get from me. When you are on my channel, you might not see a whole bunch of videos. I might not look the best. I might not, got all the makeup and all these fancy things. But I'm going to bring to you what's in my heart. So if my followers is 40 or 400 or 4,000, that's what the universe wants for me. So I'm not trying to chase what everybody else is doing. But it hurts because I know what it feels like to feel like you want to give up. I know what it feels like to feel like, yo, I just can't do it no more. So whatever he was going through, obviously, he got triggered into doing drugs, because as we know from watching him, like he was somewhat sober. That's why he got so heavy. Like, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't really doing those type of drugs, but something triggered him to do what he did. And that's the thing that I try to save myself from. And that's what I try to help other people with. And if it's me offering my time to people, if it's me offering like some of the products that I make, or like doing readings for people, whatever it is that I do it because I know we all have one thing in common, and that's pain. And sometimes we come back to this life with pain from a previous past life, and we think it's something going on here, but you just brought the shit with you. Some of us is suffering from pain because of past traumas, karma, and then some of it is created here. But whatever it is, we have to learn how to go through our pain in a way where it's not destructive to ourselves. And the thing about it, a lot of people is not going to make it out. A lot of people that you love, a lot of people that you see and care about is not going to make it through their pain. So while you're here, try your best to reach out to people, and especially the ones that you know are suffering. And just, it could be a simple text message or a simple call to say, how are you doing? Are you okay? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that this is going to save the person. I'm not saying that would have saved DMX from what he was going through. But it just triggered me because I understand what that shit feels like. It triggers me because I understand what I have to do to have a productive day. I know what I have to do to be able to be productive, to help people, to put time into my business, to put time into my family, to put time into my kids. You see what I'm saying? And that's a lot when you're already going through something mentally. And everybody has demons. The more success you're trying to get, the more your demons. Now, if you think about it, DMX was in a place where, from what we know, he came out of rehab. He wasn't doing drugs. It looked like he was drinking a lot because he had like a bare belly, probably smoking weed and cigarettes. But he wasn't doing the hard drugs, right? So when your demons see you being more productive, they will come at you even harder. And see, that's where it gets challenging, because a lot of us think, I'm on a spiritual journey, my third eye is open, and everything's going to be okay. But that's when things get really hard. Until you're able to get into a place where you recognize these demons and you're able to fight them, you're able to deal with them. You see what I'm saying? So this journey is not, if you're awake and your goal is to continue to do better, your journey is going to be hard. That's why we feel lonely. That's why sometimes we can feel more depressed. Just because your third eye is open, or you're awake, or whatever you want to call yourself, or you're just trying to do better, it's not going to be that easy. So this shit triggered me because, like, again, I don't know him personally. This is somebody I looked up to. He reminds me of my brother. Like, if you hear the way my brother speak and you hear DMX, I mean, my brother doesn't sound like him as far as like the raspiness, but just his personality. So my brother is a street person. You know what I mean? He chooses to be alcoholic, chooses to do certain things. So that swag he got kind of remind me of my brother. So it just really hurts. I'm like, damn, it hurt because I know that whatever the fuck he's been fighting his whole life, it didn't got the best of him. And that shit hurts because we all go through it, and we don't know how bad it is because we'll say, oh, I'm depressed. Okay, everybody's depressed. Like we brush off mental health as if it's something that's not affecting the whole planet. If you see somebody disabled, you feel bad. And you say, oh my God, I got to help them with their groceries. They can't walk. And they could be the meanest motherfucker in the world. But if I tell you I have anxiety, you'll look at me like, okay, well, smoke some weed. Just because weed is natural is not for everybody. There's a lot of herbs that some people can't take because if you take them, you might have a bad reaction. So even if something is natural, you have to be cautious when you're taking them. So when I buy new herbs, I have to be mindful, and I take it at the lower dose to make sure my body is equipped with it. So stop telling people what to do that works for you. Go smoke weed. That's not for everybody. But we brush off mental health as if it's a fucking flea and you could put a little powder on it and it disappears. But that shit is destroying the youth, especially the black community. You don't think when these men are in and out in jail that it's giving them PTSD, that it's fucking with their mental? When they come home, there's no support. There's no one telling them to take their meds. Now they're just out here. Men are not going to go to mental health and say, hey, I need my meds today. They're going to go do some type of drug that's not leveled out to what they're supposed to be doing, and it might make it worse. But nobody's talking about mental health. But see, if something happens to DMX, or even if he comes through, people are going to point their finger, oh, I knew he was back on drugs and all. But y'all not looking at the situation of him fighting. I don't know his age. He's probably in his late 40s. But the whole thing is, he's been fighting with demons and addictions. And if you ever listen to his interviews, he tells you what he's fighting. And he tells you about the personalities that he have that he doesn't want you to know about. And that's what made me respect him more, especially as a black male, because most of the time, as people of color, we don't talk about this. And especially men, because it's like that, it's something to do with your pride. You're just not supposed to. Men not supposed to cry. Who told you that? Who told you that men are not supposed to cry when crying is part of the healing process? That's like saying, well, men, you're not supposed to use the bathroom. How can you flush out toxins by urination or making a bowel movement? That's getting the toxins out of your body. But you tell a man he's not supposed to cry when that's part of the healing process. See, y'all got a lot of shit fucked up. And that's why the world is the world the way it is today. That's why a lot of relationships, particularly people of color, are in the situation they are in. But my thing is, be more mindful of your mental health and be more mindful of people that are going through it. Don't care when somebody's laid out with a bottle of pills in their fucking hand. Don't care when somebody then cut their wrist with maybe a simple text to say, hey, are you okay? You see what I'm saying? And take this shit off of the black community of we can't talk about mental health. Mental health, we have been dealing with a lot of mental health since slavery. Since us seeing black men getting killed on the news while somebody's recording it. You don't think that fucks with somebody? I can't remember all the people that have been killed by the police. So I'm not going to say their names. I don't want to say it wrong or pronounce it the wrong way, but male and female. And you don't think that after time goes by, it's like, okay, we forgot about that person. But you don't think deep inside that that still leaves an imprint? See, you think mental health is just being crazy or hearing voices. Like, they give us mental health by the way they treat us. And it doesn't help when you're in a home and you get treated the same way, but in a different way, because your family don't support you. They talk about you, what you know what I mean? What you should be doing. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Instead of just supporting the person, just telling a person, I'm here if you need me. Sometimes is enough, because they know that door is open if they really need you. They know if I really need that person. So it hurts my soul, because it's like we're losing one. And I say that with DMX because he's still here. But they're already saying that the damage he did, if he comes out of whatever's going on with him, that he's not going to be the same. It's not fair for you to go through life and feeling like no one's there when there's billions of people here. And some of those people within the billions, they do care. Some of the people on this planet, they genuinely care to where they'll listen to you. There's people here that really care enough to say, you know what, I don't know you, but I'm going to try to help you. That's how I am. And being an empath, I have to make sure I really protect myself and my energy. You see what I'm trying to say? So we need to do better. And I'm going to cut the video because I don't like long videos. But we need to do better individually. We need to do better as a whole. And we need to start caring about other people. Just the people on the planet. Just the people that are going through things. Just because you're financially okay doesn't mean everybody else is financially okay. When I got my first home, I felt uncomfortable. And I felt like, why do I get a home when everybody else doesn't have one? You understand? So that's a whole nother process, and that's a whole nother a video. But I just have a heart like that. Like, I'm very sensitive. Like, I want everybody to be thriving. I want everybody to be happy. I'm not the type of female to be jealous of other people. I'm not the type of female to be jealous of other women. Like, I like to see people happy. If anything, I'll study you just to learn from you. We need to do better. You need to love yourself, and you need to love other people. And we need to stop being so damn selfish and worried about ourselves. You come here to learn. You come here to get the information, but you don't come here to be freaking selfish. And a lot of us walking around on this planet are very, very selfish. Stop being selfish. Because I'm telling you, that karma and energy is going to follow you somewhere else. You think you're good because you got a little money, you got a nice little car, you got a nice little whatever, spouse, male, doesn't matter. You think you're good, but you're not good. Because, yeah, we need money to survive here, but that's the least of our problems, and that's the least of what we should be worried about. You need to worry about your soul. You need to worry about your heart. You need to be worried about the people around you. If you're not trying to help build, then you must be trying to help destroy. What have you done to help anybody? So my prayers go out to DMX. They really, truly do. Because like I said, this is somebody I looked up to when I was small. Don't ask me why I gravitated to this man's music when I was locked up until now. I probably haven't seen half the shit that he's been through. I just gravitated towards it. So see, when things like that happen, you don't question it. It's just a vibration. So my prayers go out to DMX. And they go out to his family and to the fans and everybody else that might have felt the same way I do. But love yourself and stop being so selfish. It feels good to help other people. And maybe that's just me. Like I said, this video is not for everybody. So, namaste. Ashe to the ancestors. Ashe to the ancestors known and unknown. And let's try to say a prayer for DMX. Let's try to say a prayer that he'll come out of this stronger. And regardless what happens, let's just learn from the situation.